I never give up. Let me tell you a story, not about someone born into wealth, privilege, or power, but about someone just like you and me. Someone who faced rejection, fell down again and again, but got back up each time with more determination than before. This is the story of Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, and how his life became one of the best examples of what it truly means to never give up. 1. The early years. A boy with big dreams. Jack Ma was born in Hangzhou, China in 1964. His real name is Ma Yun, but the world now knows him as Jack Ma. His family wasn't rich. They didn't own a big house or drive fancy cars. In fact, they lived quite modestly. His parents were traditional musicians and storytellers, which was a respected profession, but not one that brought in much money. As a young boy, Jack was curious, energetic, and full of questions. He was also quite small for his age, and often got into fights or was bullied by stronger kids. But he didn't let that stop him. He had something inside that made him keep going, an inner fire to do something meaningful with his life. 2. Struggling in school. Let's be honest, Jack Ma wasn't a genius in school. In fact, he failed his primary school exams twice and his middle school exams 3 times. For many students, that might feel like the end, but not for Jack. Each time he failed, he tried again. Even getting into university was hard for him. He failed the entrance exam twice. On his 3rd attempt, he finally made it into Hangzhou Teachers Institute, where he studied English. He wasn't in one of the top universities in China, but he made the most of what he had. Jack loved learning English. While still in school, he would ride his bike for 40 minutes every morning to a hotel where he knew foreign tourists stayed. He would offer them free tours around the city, just so he could practice speaking English. Imagine that, offering free tour guide services every day for 9 years. That's dedication. 3. Rejection after rejection. After graduating, Jack started looking for a job. He applied for over 30 jobs and was rejected by all of them. He applied for a job at KFC when it first opened in his city. 24 people applied and 23 were hired. The only one rejected? Jack Ma. He even tried to become a police officer. They told him he wasn't good enough. He applied to Harvard University 10 times, and every single time he received a rejection letter. Can you imagine how that must have felt? Most people would have quit right then. But not Jack. He believed that each no was just a step closer to a yes. He kept learning, kept growing, and kept dreaming. 4. First steps into business. A new world. Jack finally got a job teaching English at a local university. He was paid around $12 per month. It wasn't much, but he loved teaching. However, he knew deep down that he was meant to do something more, something bigger. In 1995, he got the chance to visit the United States on a translation assignment. While there, a friend introduced him to something that would change his life forever: the Internet. Back then, the Internet was new, even in America. Jack was curious, so he typed in the word beer on a search engine. He found lots of information about American beer, German beer, and others, but no Chinese beer. That was his aha moment. He realized that China was not on the Internet, and he saw a huge opportunity. When he got back to China, he decided to create a business that would help Chinese companies go online. 5. Starting China pages and failing again. Jack's first online business was called China Pages. It was one of China's earliest internet companies, and it aimed to create websites for Chinese businesses. Jack was excited, but the business failed. He didn't give up. Instead of quitting, he took what he learned from the failure and used it to improve. He joined a government project for a while, but his dream of building a business stayed alive. 6. The Birth of Alibaba. Believing without money. In 1999, Jack Ma invited 17 friends to his apartment in Hangzhou. There, he told them about his new idea, a website where small and medium-sized businesses in China could sell their products globally. The company would be called Alibaba, a name inspired by the tale of Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, because it was easy to pronounce in many languages and symbolized open sesame for small businesses. Here's the amazing part. They had no money, no experience, and no tech background. Jack himself couldn't even write a line of code. But what they did have was belief, passion, and a clear vision. They started working from Jack's small apartment. They had only a few computers, and sometimes no pay. But they didn't give up. Jack motivated everyone by reminding them why they started: to help others succeed. 7. Facing more challenges and growing stronger. The early days were not easy. Jack and his team were laughed at by other business people. Many investors refused to give them money. People thought they were foolish for trying to build an internet company in a country where few people even had computers. But they kept going. Eventually, they received a big investment, $20 million from SoftBank, a Japanese investment company. That was the boost they needed. They used the money wisely, kept working hard, and started to grow fast. Alibaba expanded into new areas. Jack created Taobao, a website like eBay, and Alipay, an online payment system. Both became massive successes. 8. The biggest moment, a historic IPO. In 2014, Alibaba made history. The company went public on the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE. It was the biggest IPO, initial public offering, ever at the time, raising $25 billion. Jack Ma, the man who had once been rejected from every job he applied for, became one of the richest people in the world. But money was never his goal. His mission was always to help small businesses, give back to society, and inspire others to believe in themselves. 9. Life after Alibaba, giving back. In 2019, Jack Ma stepped down as Alibaba's chairman. He didn't retire to relax. He moved on to focus on education, philanthropy, and helping young entrepreneurs. He created the Jack Ma Foundation, which supports education, entrepreneurship, and public health, especially in developing countries. He travels the world giving talks, encouraging young people to dream big and take action. 10. What we can learn from Jack Ma. Jack Ma's story is full of powerful lessons. Don't be afraid to fail. Jack failed more times than most people try, but every failure made him stronger. Believe in yourself. Even when no one else did, Jack believed he could succeed. Keep learning. Jack never stopped learning. From books, from people, from life. Help others. Jack's success came from helping others succeed. Never give up. This is the most important lesson. Even when things look impossible, don't quit. Final thoughts? The spirit of Jack Ma. Jack Ma once said, "Today is hard. Tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine." Most people give up before the sunshine comes. Jack didn't, and look where it took him. He is living proof that even if you're rejected, laughed at, or doubted, you can still rise. All you need is a dream, a plan, and the courage to keep moving forward step by step. So, if you ever feel like giving up, think of Jack Ma. Think of the little boy who failed in school, got rejected from KFC, and became one of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. And remember, you have that same strength inside you too.